Hello everyone, hello, and welcome back to another Forced Impressions. You might be looking at the title and be like, what the fuck? Well, today's game is from Japan, and it's an NES title. I'll show you the box here. I already have the contents out of it, but the box is pretty interesting for a Japanese Famicom cart, aka NES. Is Namco. That is Namco's name back then. Namcot. I don't know. Now, there's the title actually in English, but odd that it has a V. Apparently the translation version is, I believe, Jubei, or no, it's Jubei Quest. Yeah. I believe that's how the translation of the title is. But, as you can see, the box is actually thick. Side kind of reminds me of the kind of font thing that the creator of One Piece did with, I can't remember what it's called. It was a one-shot series he did called Wanted, I believe. And you might be like, why such a big box for a Famicom card? Because, in case you don't know, Famicom cards, though coming in different kind of shapes, are generally incredibly small. I mean, hell, 2 Famicom cards are barely the size of an NES card. So, you might be like, why all the space? Well, let us show. First, we have the cartridge, of course, which looks actually like the Shin Tensei 2 cartridge, which is has an increased thickness here, which makes it a little more annoying for my converter. But it has a nice rounded top. The label looks a little faded, but generally not too bad considering its age. Now, let's just get to the nitty-gritty of why it's so big. Now, something, well, first, you might notice on one of the sides it showed something. There were cards that came with this. I do not have the cards, but I do have this. And what's interesting is it feels, I don't know what kind of paper this is. It does not feel like normal paper. It kind of has like a waxy feel to it. It's kind of interesting. It certainly looks like it, whatever the hell it is, it's preserved this very nicely considering it's so old. It's a matte poster with, it's really freaking big. I mean, hell. Let's go ahead and try to get some close-up of the map. There's a lot of nice detail here. It's going to be kind of hard to show it all off. Because I'm kind of doing this a little blind. A little taking peeks off the side here. Bunch of little orbs. Down here we got a cast and some background stuff there. I'm not sure what kind of paper this is. It has a really soft feel to it. It's very interesting. It certainly looks like this is very well preserved, to be honest. It certainly looks like it was very nicely preserved. But that's one reason the box is so big. The cards, and it has a slightly hard cover. Not like absolute hard, but I mean not like paper itself. It's just kind of like what a normal paperback book has, but that's kind of unusual for actual video game booklet. But it is absolutely colorful. It is full of color and charm inside this booklet. I can't help but want to show this off in such nice detail. Look at all that nice art in there. Like, get them characters and that. Very nice art there for all the characters. I have not met any of the other party members, so I'm not really sure how that is quite. They did a very nice job on this booklet, I have to say. It is just full of lovely art and tons of color. Too bad we can't understand it, though. But that would probably be making too much big. Picture in the middle might be a little hard to make out since it's white there in the middle. We got a donkey, some flowers, some guys running around here. Got some more of our killers doing action. Got a silly ass ninja. Look at you. You're just silly ass little ninja. And those guys running again. A few repeats here and there. Now here's something weird. It's like an alien thing. Are there gonna be aliens in this? Because this is gonna be weird. Then it's gonna be very weird. Here's a page full of all kinds of art. Got a lot of art on this one. Very nice. And here's a bit of a wide one right there. Ooh. And here's actually a bit of a large one with the golem there. It is very nice. I really love the art. And there's apparently robots in here. Because every JRPG needs to have futuristic technology. Ooh, I fought one of those things. You'll see that in my next jolly good time. Here's a really big one of the main character, but with the folding thing kind of splitting him in half. I've been cut down. We'll screenshot some items. Going all Dragon Quest style here with a lot of items, nice orbs and stuff. The donkey repeating again. And there's a few swords there, but they're pretty small, so it's kind of hard to see them. Some armor. Yeah, something tells me we kind of whipped off Dragon Quest here, little Namco. Didn't you? Didn't you, Namco? Didn't you? Got a nice dragon right there. Ooh. That's pretty much it. Very nice book. Loaded with color and charm. That is a very nice booklet. So, this is a Force Impressions, not a giant art show. And how far am I in this always? 7 minutes? I'm 7 minutes. I haven't even talked about the game yet. Wow. Well. All the packaging and everything's good, so if you didn't already realize that. So moving on. So, if you haven't already elaborated, this is a basically Dragon Quest with samurai theme all over it. It looks pretty much like Dragon Quest. There was no stales command in that. This is an evolution where it just automatically transitions. Which is, of course, good, because to be honest, it was hard for me to play the old Dragon Quest games. I did not play RPGs in that time period, so that command always was annoying. Stairs, I want to go down stairs. But, there are a few interesting, nice touches to the game, though. The first one is something that, now, stay with me, don't freak out when I make this comparison, because I know some people ain't in the delightful Viking stage of this. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's a great game, but it reminds me of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest in one element. That element? Enemies' sprite changing upon damage. The enemies show a weakened state when they're dying. So, that's a very nice little thing there, especially in an NES game. A lot of people say like Mystic Quest is one of the few games they've seen do that. So I have to say, hey, way to be older than that. Pretty much every enemy I've seen so far shows a state of dying when weakened and that, and no sprite changes, which is very nice. I'm sure that will be incredibly nice for bosses. Like, it's dying, its sprite changed. Now, as far as I see, there's only one sprite change, where a lot of Mystic Quest enemies and bosses had two or three, I think it's 3, right? I think regular enemies had 2 and bosses had 3, or something like that. I know there was some multiple in Mystic Quest. So far, I only know it's 1 sprite change, so not hugely, but a nice little touch, though. The selection of the enemy you want to attack is also a little different. Instead of like, select ability and then you get to choose what, you need to choose what when you're selecting your ability. Your character is physically present on the screen, unlike a lot of Dragon Quest style RPGs back then. Your character's present on screen, and he is an actual, he or she, it, or that. There was characters, but right now it's just the main character I had when I did this. But the character themselves is the selection. So left and right control where you want the character, and they'll be underneath the enemy you want to attack. And then select the ability, and whoosh, carries on the ability. Now there is a mana system, and the main character will on file in my presentation. Only got about like 9 mana. And interestingly, the main character learns sword techniques. Oh, shocking. Sam, like, no, it's not like, I don't know really how to describe it exactly. I mean, it's not like in a normal convention like in Lunar where you have tons of sword techniques for that. Your first they're all normal attacks that cost nothing. Like, there's no price to use them. They're just free. But the two I got function differently. The first one's just standard attack. Attack and slash has good chance of hitting it. The second attack, interestingly, didn't hit very often. A lot of times it missed. But when it did hit, it did extreme amount of damage. So it looks like different characters will have different skills that have a different ratio and damage and formula to each one. I do not know how many sword techniques the main character will learn, but considering he already learned the second one in Fire Magic, it looks like the beginning of the game does not start out incredibly boring. Which is a good thing, because since it's really copying Dragon Quest style, there is grinding. I did have to grind to about level 3 to buy all the equipment in the first town and safely traverse further on that. I actually got to go even further when I did my Jolly Good Time with Carter just recently. So that will be a way to see some of the gameplay. I am highly considering doing a Let's Play the game too. Now, the thing is, I used a English patch for the game, and now that I have a copy of the game and that, I will probably, well, actually, let's save that for the end. I'll explain that at the end of the video for people who, because that only concerns Let's Plays, people who watch the Let's Plays, so, stay on topic. Stay on topic! Okay. There is an inventory limitation, and it is pretty small. From the looks of it, it looks like each character will have their own inventory, similar to many Dragon Quest games again. There does not seem to be a bag option, so there is money deposited, and when you die, you lose money. So it looks like, again, of no similar element to Dragon Quest. You have a shrine that acts like the priest. Again, similar to Dragon Quest. We're seeing a reoccurring event here. Something interesting I did see also, there was this area that looked like poison. If you have played a lot old NES RPGs, you probably would look at the lantern of this one and say, ooh, that looks like poison. Well, walking in it made the character sink and walk slowly. So, interesting touch on the swamp there. It didn't poison me either or do damage. I would assume there's probably a different encounter weight in the swamp, but it was a really small swamp, so I didn't really get to middle around with it. I did get to the next town, which does show that there are instances where enemies are physically visible. There was a building that was full of mobs you could see in a void, except for obviously the head honcho you had to fight there. But another interesting aspect for an NES game, I don't know if that's going to play a big role in a lot of areas, but that's a nice touch for an NES game. Usually when you physically saw a character, it's usually, I'm the big bad villain, time to blow you down and knock you down and kick you down and pull every cliche out of my cape. But it looks like that could be a very nice touch tool. I'm actually being very excited to try this game more. Story aspect. Story aspect kind of reminded me of Dragon Ball, of all things. It opens up saying that 3 orbs landed on the planet, and this guy found one and found a baby there, and he had a scar down his eye. And that is a characteristic of the main character's sprite. There's a line. I don't think it's done too well, but it is a small sprite. Kind of hard to really do that, but they did try to show the scar on the main character's face there. But so it's kind of weird like that. It really does make me think of Dragon Ball, because I mean, you know, Goku crashed on Earth and shit and got found. It's like, oh, baby. Aside from that, I really don't know. There's just a whole bunch of demons fucking going crazy. I'm sure there's more to the plot, but there's not too much. Overall, I'd say it has some nice ideas for something that was on the NES that I personally haven't seen too often until much later consoles. But overall, it stays pretty true to the Dragon Quest formula. The aesthetic change is a very nice, and if you are going to use the English patch for this game, it has a very nice font system for kind of keeping with the theme of the game. But obviously that doesn't count against the game, since that's you know, a translation by people, you know, that was hacked into a patched version of the game. But anyway, overall, the game seems excellent, underrated, and certainly should be known more. A lot more. Very more. Everybody, go get it now. Buy it. If you're wondering how much I paid for my copy, this was about $20, my version. I don't think that was too bad, considering I only had one thing missing. Oops. I wasn't too worried about the cards. I kind of think it was just kind of nice to have all. I'm pretty satisfied with it. That's not too bad of a price, but overall, I was really impressed with it for a really old NES game. So I highly recommend checking it out, and go do that. So anyway, if you're sticking around for the last thing I was just mentioning about a while ago, I did in this for my Let's Play viewers, so if you don't watch my Let's Plays or don't like my Let's Plays, then you might as well just go now, because I would assume you won't care if you don't like them. So anyway, Let's Plays. Now, as I say, I use the English patch, and I've told people before I have no problem using English patches personally when I own a legal copy of the game and stuff, but when I started doing Let's Plays and that, I did have an issue using emulations to do Let's Plays in that. I do have a personal gripe with that. And I talked it to my network. Personally, my network wasn't really worried about my concerns. My network said, personally, if you really, really want to, just do what you already do. Purchase it legally, and there you go. So, I am now considering games like this that have English patches in there, and that I legally own. So a lot of like the Japanese Super Nintendo games and stuff are now going to be added to the table as potential Let's Plays, as long as I own a legal copy. And that's just a personal gripe, you know. I think it's kind of wrong to emulate something in a profitable thing if you don't legally own it. That's kind of just, I don't know, it morally upsets me. But hey, they basically said, I will issue this, so I will be considering Let's Plays like that, and considering the new format of how I can do editing with the new program I got. I can also do more better big screens, and Emulation would offer better options on it. So look forward to stuff like that. But at the meantime, you know, I'm focusing on what I got. So hope you enjoyed the first impressions. Hope you look forward to more videos, and I hope you look forward to a jolly good time, which will have recordings pardon me, of this game. So until next time, dear viewer, toodaloos, and I hope you enjoyed.